Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Josh Schimmels, publisher and CEO of the Los Angeles Business Journal's Inside the Valley magazine. It's exciting to be here as we continue this important conversation in the Valley and host our annual Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Roundtable and Awards. Now, in our third year, we're here to celebrate the business leaders and organizations making an impact, specifically today here in the Valley. And I will say, in a time where some are leaning away from talking about the importance of DE&I, we choose to lean in. We are extremely proud to showcase the great work that's being done. We want to encourage more business leaders to engage and to do the same thing. We've got a great program lined up today. So let me tell you what the next couple of hours, hour and a half is going to look like. We're going to start with a conversation where we take a closer look at how DE&I is impacting businesses, how it's impacting our employees, our teams here throughout the Greater Valley region. We're then going to move into the awards portion of the program, where we have an opportunity to honor 13 individuals and 17 organizations, all showcasing what it means to be an equitable leader, what it means to be a company that is invested in driving change in our community of business here. After we introduce our change leaders, we'll unveil a few specialty award winners, and we'll invite these specialty honorees to say a few words. Specifically, we'd love to hear about your DE&I efforts at your company, why it's important, what types of things that you're doing, and what type of results you've seen from a culture standpoint, from a business standpoint. I also want to say, before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors for continuing to support this program. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for all that you're doing in our community of business. So very first, I'd like to thank our two platinum sponsors. First, Light Gabler and Montage Insurance Solutions. Thank you both very much. And I also want to thank our gold sponsor, Dignity Health. We can't do this without all of you, and thank you for recognizing the importance of this. All right, let's get to it. It is my pleasure to have an opportunity to moderate our roundtable discussion today. So let's meet our panelists who are going to be joining me. First off, we've got Patsy Ayala, Planning Commissioner with the City of Santa Clarita. Valerie Chandler, VP of Employee Benefits with Montage Insurance Solutions. Reverend Casey McCarty, Director of Mission Integration and Spiritual Care Services with Dignity Health, Glendale Memorial Hospital and Health Center. And Amada Morales, Senior Vice President, Human Resources with California Credit Union. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to start off this discussion with a question for the entire group. So the question is, tell us a little bit about how each of you have had your own leadership journeys, and how have you influenced and approached DEI at your companies? And I guess what experiences have helped shape your perspective? So Patsy, let's start with you. What are your thoughts?
Thank you. Well, first, I want to thank you for the opportunity, of course, to connect today and share about my experience with DEI. And what I can tell you, one of the first things that I think I got influenced in my professional life is that I live like in 5 cities, in 3 countries, and here in the United States, I live in the East Coast and now living on the West Coast. I've been here for 24 years. Along that trip of experiences, I have met wonderful individuals and wonderful organizations. And there's one thing that I saw in common. Of course, we have people that want to work hard, that want to accomplish, that want to achieve things for their families and for their organizations. And from that feeling that I perceive from the professionals around the communities that I've been, I got involved in the communities. And I think that I saw the importance of being fair and have justice in what you do and be inclusive and being very objective. I think as a professional, when I see those organizations that are very friendly, because you have that when you arrive to a new job, a new organization, a networking mixer, or you have a first impression. And at least in the jobs or organizations that I've been leading, I've been always like what other people would like to perceive on the first impression, to have that moment of truth. And that's how I've been working for the good experiences that I have when I approach to an organization, an event, or anything like that. And now being in the position to be a leader or to be the chair for an organization or representing the city is like, I need to be professional, I need to be fair, I need to be inclusive. And I think when you are that type of model or having that leadership is contagious. And that's one of the inputs that I'm always bringing. And of course, sharing with the people that I am working with. I've been very blessed and lucky to work with wonderful professionals. Right now, of course, I'm with the city of Santa Clarita as a planning commissioner. And you need to be voting in certain things that are going to be shaping the future. And I need to be aware how this is affecting all the communities, diverse cultures, and of course, at the same time, covering the needs of the city. And that's what I am doing right now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Patsy. Valerie, what are your thoughts? Valerie, you just need to come off mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to sit on the panel. I'm excited to be here. And when I reflect on my leadership journey, and really what has helped me was starting out in my career, I had people who really got to know me and listened to me. And that really is authentic leadership. And getting to know people, getting to understand and to learn what their aspirations are. Culture is very important. Culture is really, when you have an authentic leader and the culture, it really comes through in how you communicate with people, right? So I think it's important to listen to people, to get to know them, to let them know that their ideas are important. And I can recall, being at a company, it was a larger company. We were going through an acquisition. So it was the merging of cultures. And when you're merging cultures like that, some people are not as outgoing as others. And when you're in a leadership role, you really have to pay attention to your team and to the people around you to make sure that everyone feels included, talking to people, just getting to know them, and also engaging them in different processes. I think that's very key.
That's really timely. I actually was on a prep call this morning for a podcast that we host. That's going to be launching live, by the way, in about a week here.
Nice.
And one of the questions and the comments that was made by the CEO I was interviewing was some of his goals for this next year. And two of his goals I thought were really important to what you just said. One was spend more time with our clients to hear what their needs are, be out in the field with our clients. And then the other portion was spend more time with my associates, my colleagues, because they are the ones out with our clients, listening to them and doing what their needs are and satisfying their needs each and every day. While it seems so obvious, sometimes when you hear it, it's just a really good reminder of how important it is to make sure that we are listening, that we're taking feedback, that we're really understanding the people around us, whether it's our internal clients at our company or our external clients. So thank you for sharing that. Same question, Cassie. What are your thoughts?
Thank you, Josh. And I do also want to thank you for the opportunity to be on this panel and congratulate all the awardees today. For me and my leadership journey, I would point to two things. And one is the organization I work for, Dignity Health and Common Spirit Health. they are a mission-driven organization, and one of the core values is inclusion. So when you work for an organization that has a core value where diversity, equity, inclusion is just part of who we are, that can only impact and influence me as a leader being supported in that work, because it's part of the very foundation of who we are. And it drives us to create programs and initiatives that beautifully exemplify diversity, equity, and inclusion. I would say the second way that I've been influenced and impacted as a leader is through healthcare and my work as a professionally trained chaplain in the hospital setting. The communities that our hospitals serve are very, very diverse. And the patients that come through our doors, the patients I have the good honor and fortune of supporting and caring for as a chaplain, their stories impact who I am as a professional. And I am transformed and changed as I learn about their culture, their ethnicity, their race, all of their backgrounds, everything, every part of who they are as a human being, and how they bring that into this intimate space of healthcare. And we get to connect with that. We can only be changed and transformed. And so I think that goes along with what you were talking about, Valerie, of listening, because it is about listening to our patients and also our staff as well, who beautifully represent diverse cultures as well. Thank you.
Wonderful. And thank you for joining us. And then rounding out the same question, Amada, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for having me here as well. So my leadership journey began 27 years ago with California Credit Union, obviously an amazing financial institution. I moved up the ladder. I had amazing mentors along the way, mostly women. So that helped me obviously learn from great leaders as well. But also our senior leaders provided trust and opportunities for me. So personally, I do see the importance of DEI in our workforce. We're a very diverse organization. We have 45% of managers are women at our organization. And then, also being the Senior Vice President of Human Resources, I can clearly see the benefits D&I programs have on our workforce, such as, education around bias and creating community and opening up opportunities. And then, of course, our members are first for our employees and providing great service to our members and understanding the communities that we serve in. We serve, communities throughout Los Angeles and San Diego. And so we are always, prepared, obviously, to handle the great member service that our great staff provides. So having a diverse workforce for us is very important in servicing our members.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think this is such a great start to the conversation. We've all experienced different journeys to our own DEI leadership, and we all agree that it's important. Otherwise, we wouldn't be investing in doing it internally. And then on this program today, a question I have for you, Patsy, is it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to implement. And implementing DE&I initiatives can sometimes come with challenges. Have you seen challenges in implementation? And if so, how have you addressed them?
Thank you for this question. Absolutely. There are always challenges, and it doesn't matter. Probably many people is going to be in this same chair with me, that it doesn't matter where you work if you are implementing this type of initiatives. The first challenge that I see is the cultural resistance, because some individuals may be resistant to DEI because they have a misconception. And I think this concept, sometimes it has been kidnapped for certain activism and things like that. But, if we keep it clear exactly what it is to be about fairness, and we can be able to overcome resistance, requiring with doing more education about what it's about, why it is important, and also to advocate and foster an inclusive culture. Another challenge that I have encountered, it has been the diverse stakeholder needs, because serving diverse population, it means recognizing and addressing specific needs in different communities. And the way I have been addressing this is balancing the needs while ensuring equitable access to resources in our community. And another challenge is the engagement and participation. But this is one of my favorites because I really like to do events. And right now I'm also the chair for the Latino Business Alliance for the Santa Clarita Chamber of Commerce. And I try to do, at least there in my involvement, I like to do events, of course, with the chamber, with the leadership of the chamber, that we engage with cultural activities. For example, if it's in January, we do every other month Café con Leche networking. Everybody likes to network, but I tell everybody, this is not only for Hispanics. Hispanic is the fastest growing market. So if you want to reach that market, come over. So that way, it is open for everybody, and it has been working. Or whenever we had recently our Hispanic Heritage Month, and I was telling, you come not only to celebrate the contributions of our Hispanic population, but I could also I try to make it fun and say, because we're gonna have tacos, and who doesn't like tacos? And try to put something in common. That's the culinary experience is something that also is uniting us, and I try to take advantage of those things. And of course, other of the things, it needs to be the sustainability. DEI is not a one-time event. It needs to be a long-term strategy. And that's why I think it's important to create a calendar or a strategy, not only of events, but of policies and strategies, so we continue applying them in the future to improve the conditions of our businesses, our families, and our communities.
I really appreciate that. I think that's a really good way of looking at it. And it is hard to implement. So I commend you for really taking a closer look at that and figuring out the best ways, within each organization. I think belonging is something that, as people, we all tend to be more successful, feel better about our surroundings when we feel a sense of belonging. And I don't know if that's talked about as enough as it could be in different scenarios. Valerie, I'm going to ask you, what actions have you taken to create a sense of belonging amongst your employees? And then how do you measure that as well? Because how do you know if it's working? What are your thoughts on this? This is a little tougher.
Thank you, Josh, and that is a great question. What I would like to go back to is culture. Culture is very important, and also when your leadership team, your executive team, when it starts from the top, when the leaders are authentic. Being a leader, I'm very authentic. I love to learn about people. My team, talking to them, listening to them, their ideas, learning what their aspirations are. We are such a cohesive team, and teams are not about one person. It's about the collaboration, the collective knowledge, and building off of people's strengths and, strengths and weaknesses, wins and losses, and creating a safe environment. Creating a safe environment for the team where they are welcome and are open to sharing with me, not only the wins, but when something goes wrong, when there's a mistake that was made, that is a great teachable moment. And we've all been there. We learn from our mistakes. So wins are good, but also losses are good and mistakes are good too, because it builds character, right? It builds character, and it just helps people to feel comfortable. And the good thing with being at Montage, Danon, our CEO and founder, our leader, Danon is very authentic, right? So when you have the executive team, the founder who is authentic, it makes people take off the veil, right? Just be who you are. Just the authenticity is very important. But again, that really has to be just embedded in your culture and the people, the teams that you have. So we have that here at Montage. And the reason that I know that is because, our teams are my team is very open, and I oversee the account management team, also the service team. So my hands are, in all different pots. I work with all the different teams, also the clients, and you can really feel, you can just feel the inclusion. And I can go on and on about this, but I'm gonna stop here. I'll stop here.
Well, I appreciate you sharing all that. I can't tell you how many times a month I will call, whether it's my sales team or my editors or somebody in audience development, and there will be a mistake that one of us made. And we call into a meeting and we talk about it, and there's so many different ways to learn from it. I've actually found that it's probably the best way to learn is to address the mistake, to own it, and take a closer look at how you can, utilize that. We actually have in our new magazine, on the very last page, if you haven't looked and seen it, we have a whole column. Every issue, it's called My Biggest Mistake. And because readers can, they can really, it resonates with them. They can understand. And when you hear a CEO or somebody in the leadership position embrace their mistakes, be open to talk about it, I think it's a reminder. We all make them. We can all learn from them. So thank you for sharing that. Before we move on past implementation, I want to go back to Cassie. Have you had some examples, that maybe one or two that you could share, of successful programs or initiatives that you've implemented? And then, I guess along with that, were there some key factors that ultimately made them successful?
Yeah, thank you, Josh. I would say one way that we listened to our staff is regarding our cultural commemorations here at the hospital. A few years ago, we perhaps highlighted maybe a handful of different heritage months, but we asked our staff, what are we missing? What do you want us to celebrate and commemorate here at the hospital? And so we've grown to nearly 2-3 dozen cultural commemorations that we have here at the hospital. And that has increased our employee engagement scores around diversity, equity, inclusion. So I would say those celebrations, those acknowledgements of various cultural months, like Hispanic Heritage Month. Right now we're in Filipino American History Month in the month of October. So we have something planned for that later this month. In June, it's Pride Month. So just looking at the various opportunities for celebration throughout the year. I think another opportunity is around education. We've done implicit bias training with managers here at the hospital, as well as offered it to staff as well. And I think those are some of the ways that we have found successfully implementing DEI projects.
Thank you so much. This is all great, and I think we would agree. We could go on and continue a really meaningful conversation for another couple of hours, but we did promise to keep on track and get to our awards. So we've got about 10 minutes left of our conversation, 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to ask that, because we have a few more questions, I'm going to ask us to maybe condense our responses just a little bit so that we can get to all of them still before we move into our awards. Amada, do you have any specific initiatives that you are proud of that led to success that you'd like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have an employee-led DEI committee comprised of 12 employees at all levels and backgrounds. They bring different perspectives to the table and to incorporate DEI into our overall organizational culture as well. So they've come up with great ideas. We have cultural spotlights that we feature on our intranet and we share via email with employees. And what this is a monthly campaign highlighting a different culture or tradition or observance month month with relevant information to educate and raise awareness and engage employees in new perspectives. We also have CCU Community Stories, which celebrates different cultures with videos or articles interviewing an employee from a diverse background who tells their story to raise awareness of different issues we all face, every day in our lives. And then we also have volunteer opportunities for employees where we participate in events such as the San Diego Pride Parade, and we also, and obviously that's to support the LGBTQ plus community. And we also partner with Mama's Kitchen, supporting meal services for the critically ill. And I think that what has led to the success of our efforts with DE&I has been the employee involvement and dedication, which of course provides a true sense of community and belonging within our organization.
What wonderful! I think that's also important. As we look at the efforts, one thing that I think we need to look at, sometimes depending on the size of your organization, if it's a large organization, you may have an entire department that is dedicated to this. In smaller organizations, it's everybody who wears that hat and everybody has to contribute. So my question to you, Patsy, would be, how do you ensure that leadership throughout different departments is engaged and accountable for the efforts?
Well, first of all, I think we need to set expectations about implementing DEI initiatives, because they need to be with the goals, needs to be integrated with the culture of the organization. Also, regular training and workshops. We need to, not because we say it once or when we heard somebody, that's it. I think this needs to be an ongoing reminder or update of the importance of these initiatives. Also, create accountability and metrics. For example, if you do an event, it could be with government, with the city, or with an organization. Did it work? How many people attended? How many resources we were able to share? Another thing, it will be the open communication, and this has to do with encouraging a culture of transparency, no closed doors. I think when something is open and transparent, is more trust to the goals that we are, of course, trying to achieve. Another thing, it will be leadership involvement in the initiatives. Again, I have a work in public service. So when I was in the Senate, or now that I am with the city, be sure that for important things, in that case, for example, the senator or the city council members, or if it's an organization, the board members attend, or they are aware and attend these events or these programs, because it says a lot. It says, they are, I am backing you up, and this community or this initiative is important. And of course, highlighting the successes. Why not? At the end, if something works, saying, this worked, and it shows the importance of including this community or including this project. And I think that's what it has been working for me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we've looked back at some things that have worked, and we've talked about strategies and implementation and accountability. Let's look forward for just a moment here. Valerie, everything has to evolve, and DE&I strategies is no different. So I'm going to ask you, how do you see things needing to change in the future? How do we adapt to the changing of our cultures in our business community, the changes in our communities as a whole, and then our changes in strategies? How do we make sure that DE&I continues to evolve in the future?
Great question. Great question, Josh. With the Gen Zs, the Zoomers, the Millennials, it's really about mentoring them, again, making a safe place for them, letting them know that their ideas are important for them to learn, to share. And I learn something new every day. That's my goal. When I wake up in the morning, I'm grateful for this day, but I always look to learn something new. And I learn from people, right? And we have an amazing team, millennials and Gen Zs on the team, and the creativity. I mean, they are, I learn so much from them, but again, it's adapting and also teaching them, but also learning from them, right? I have historical knowledge and wisdom for them, but they're the future, right? They're the future. They're the now. It's me passing along knowledge to them and also me learning their way because they're much quicker than I am. I mean, I don't know who else can relate, but something that may take me an hour, one of my team members can finish it in, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes. They will cut my time in half. So it's the collaboration, it's spending time with them, sharing information, right? It's the exchange of knowledge and letting them know that, their opinions are important and their opinions matter. We do that a lot here at Montage. It's really the collaboration, right? It's really collaborating with the team and engaging everyone.
Yeah, I'm glad that you specifically mentioned generational differences and embracing.
Yes.
I think it's really important. We see that more and more. Interestingly enough, my 16-year-old daughter interned with our marketing team this summer, and it was kind of fascinating to see the way she approached a couple of research projects in ways that our team hadn't thought of, because she grew up with a device in her hand, and they know how to find anything. So you ask them to take on a research project, they just look at it differently. And I think it's fascinating, and I learned from it. So it was really exciting to see. And so we'll continue to and make sure that we're embracing that.
And Josh, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but my nephew, my 18-year-old nephew, this was last year. He came out and spent a month with me, and I had him in the office because we have a very inviting environment. We're very pet friendly, kid friendly, although he is a teenager. He's at Penn State now, but when he came out to spend time with me, Toby, our president, was doing a presentation on GP chat and, the ins and outs and how it's the thing of the future and the now and how that's being incorporated. And I didn't know anything about GP chat, to be honest with you. And I text Josiah and I said, Josiah, this is so exciting. Have you ever heard about it? And he sent me he sent me an emoji like, yes, that's the thing now that's going on. So I say that to say he knew about it and shared the information with me. So, Toby is, very futuristic. But I say all this to say that, even our teenagers, right? He's a Gen Z. They're ahead of the game. And they're teaching us. I learned something from, my teenage nephew every day.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Before we wrap up our questions here, Cassie, I'm going to ask you one more question. It's along the same lines. As we look forward, what advice would you give to other leaders who are looking to improve their efforts themselves?
I would say diversity, equity, inclusion doesn't just happen on its own. It's something that we all have to be very intentional about. So I think those task forces that some of our panelists have mentioned, we have a diversity, equity, inclusion task force. We have a health equity task force, and being very intentional about bringing in those conversations. I just want to mention really quickly, we're doing a pilot program in one of our departments here at the hospital where we bring on board new employees, and periodically within their first 90 days, the leader in that department will sit down with them and ask them questions around diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, to listen to what they have to say, to ensure their voice is heard, to make sure they feel like this is a place where they could truly, truly belong. So we'd love to report back on that pilot project sometime in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. I'm going to have to skip to our last question because I do want to be respectful of everyone's time. And I'm going to ask everyone to give as a lightning response. So we're going to go short responses here. We know that working together as a community is really important in the overall success of how DE&I is implemented and how successful it is within our companies and our organizations. My question to the group, your last question is, how have you and your team worked with other organizations, whether it's clients, whether it's nonprofits, groups, even schools, to enhance your efforts? And what does that look like for you? Let's go ahead and start with Patsy. Lightning round.
Yes, well, I'm going to tell you two secret weapons. One thing that I do is do a calendar of all the cultural and things that are happening in my city. And second is not only engage in the initiatives that I am leading. I call or I see if I can participate in other groups, or at least I attend. If not because I'm chairing the Latino Business Alliance or something with the city, I don't go with other things with other groups. So I have my calendar full of activities and things that if I don't participate, at least I attend.
Wonderful. Valerie, same question.
I go to our mission statement, and our mission statement is our mission is to further your mission through service, integrity, and dedication. And we have a lot of nonprofit clients, and we're very actively engaged with them, helping with fundraisers, offering time to them. So it's really about giving back to the community, with the clients that we serve, which, we're very active in the community. And Montage, I can't think of the name of the organization, but I know for the past 20 years, the past 10 years, there's an organization that gives wheelchairs to different countries. And I can't think of, Danon, are you? Oh, that's why she's not able to talk now, but it's just giving to the community however we can, and helping our nonprofit clients and schools too. We're very actively involved with our clients.
Thank you, Valerie. Cassie, same question.
Yep, I would say two things. Every 3 years, our hospital conducts a community health needs assessment. And during that process, we invite stakeholders, community members representing a variety of different diverse communities to give us input on matters that they are concerned about with respect to health and health equity. So listening, again, that listening is vital to us in terms of how we have planned for programming around community benefit, community health programs. And then secondly, we partnered a few years ago with 2 school districts and a community college and developed an internship here at the hospital for historically underrepresented high school students and community college students to encourage and inspire the next generation of healthcare providers. We want our healthcare professionals to look like our communities. And the way that can happen is very intentionally reaching out and connecting and mentoring and supporting that next generation. Thank you.
Wonderful examples of community outreach. Thank you. And Amada, wrapping it up here, what are your thoughts?
Sure. So on a quarterly basis, we've partnered with various nonprofit organizations and provide some support. Organizations such as Friends Indeed, supporting the unhoused and at-risk community members. And then we also partner with NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And then we've partnered with Maná de San Diego, empowering Latinas to receive upward mobility and a better quality of life, as well as Esencia here in Glendale, supporting unhoused individuals, to name a few. Another thing that we did is we had a speaker series where we partnered with Lola Arellano, who is an author and an inclusive workplace advocate, who spoke to our employees about intersectionality and bridging the divide within diverse individuals in corporate spaces. So that has helped us a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. How about a virtual round of applause for all of our panelists, Patsy, Valerie, Cassie, Amada. I want to thank you all for contributing, for sharing your thoughts with us. I think there's a lot to be learned from this. So thank you so much. All right. So we are going to shift now into our celebration portion. And we're going to first announce our 2024 individual DEI leaders. And from those, we'll announce 2 specialty awards and have them say a few words. After that, we'll go into and share our corporate leaders and our 3 corporate specialty awards. I should say, I don't think it's, I don't know if this has been shared, but for each of you who are announced right now, we do have awards for each of you that will be delivered to your offices. We'll bring them to you. They're physical awards. All of our honorees who we're mentioning right now will have awards and will also be featured in the next issue of Inside the Valley, which is going to press in about a week and a half here, and it'll be in the mailboxes shortly. So congratulations to each of you. And now to join me in announcing some of the absolute best, the most impressive and most impactful businesses and leaders paving the way, please welcome Inside the Valley's Marketing and Events Director, Tori Haney. Tori, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Josh, and congratulations to our DE&I leadership class of 2024. First, our individuals, starting with Patsy Ayala, Planning Commissioner, City of Santa Clarita. She's a leading advocate of DE&I in the Santa Clarita Valley through her platform as a planning commissioner and as president of the Latino Business Alliance.
I should say, get your cameras ready, get your screenshot ability ready on your laptops so that you can capture the moment as we announce each of you. Next up, congratulations to Michael Bloom, sales agent with the agency. Michael speaks Spanish and Japanese, regularly gives back to the community, and contributes greatly to the community in many other ways as well.
Angel Cade, founder and CEO, Executive on the Go, who proactive efforts in creating new avenues for diversity, equity, and inclusion, demonstrate her unwavering dedication to fostering a workplace environment where everyone feels valued and empowered.
Tamara Gurney, President and CEO, Mission Valley Bank. Her influence is not only felt at the local and state levels, but also on a national platform as she's made numerous visits to Washington, D.C. to lobby for community bankers.
Arash Hamanpour, partner and founder, the Hamanpour Law Group. He insists on embracing diversity, not just among rank and file workers, but in management, on boards of directors, and at all levels of his organization.
Next up, Debbie Kim, Director of Corporate Communications with Cordoba Corporation. Debbie led strategic planning, increased housing, green space, and park upgrades, all while implementing immigrant protections.
Crystal Leonard, Assessor, Autism Services, Easter Seals, Southern California. She led their inclusion, diversity, equity, and access team, advancing health equity, community groups, and mentorship programs to address the healthcare disparities in underserved communities.
Next up, Greg Martin, Vice President of External Affairs with the Valley Economic Alliance. Greg is a compassionate leader who champions equality, inspires through personal adversity, and promotes regional diversity as well throughout the organization and the community.
Laurel Mintz, General Partner, Fabric VC. Laurel has made waves to make VC more accessible for BIPOC, LGBTQ+, and women entrepreneurs, hiring a fully diverse team to support this mission.
Jamie Munoz, Program Manager 2, Family Preservation with Child and Family Center. Jamie fosters an inclusive environment through strategic planning, staff engagement, and educational efforts.
Steve O'Connell, President and CEO, California Credit Union. Steve works to make sure underserved communities and individuals have access to financial products and services and has ensured the credit union's product offering, support services, and resources meet these needs.
Luis Perry, President and Founder, Kadima Security Services. Luis has been embraced by the Jewish community from his Brooklyn roots all the way to Los Angeles, contributing to the Shabbat Telethon for 13 years.
And Danon Simpson, CEO and founder, Montage Insurance Solutions. She wanted to build an agency around the ideas of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Montage staff is composed of persons of all ages, races, and backgrounds.
Congratulations to all of our individual DE&I award honorees. As I mentioned, each of you will be featured in the next issue of Inside the Valley magazine, and we do have award plaques for all of you. We have 2 specialty awards that we're going to unveil now. And to do this, please welcome Platinum sponsor, Danon Simpson, founder and CEO with Montage Insurance Solution. Danon, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Josh. What an honor. I'm so excited. I think this means more to me than almost anything, even though I do love best places to work. We were #1 on the small group and, businesses, and that meant so much to us. And we just appreciate all that you do for us at the journals, business journals. It's an amazing collaboration and partnership with a lot of people. As a matter of fact, the person that I was interviewing today for Disruptors Award, I was telling him all about the best places to work and how he should do this after listening to all the wonderful things he does for his employees. So thank you so much, Josh. The first award is for DEI Executive of the Year, and the honoree is Arash Hamapour with the Hamapour Law Firm. And joining us to accept the award on his behalf is actually Managing Attorney Frazid Yassini. So, Frazid, would you like to unmute and say a few words?
Good afternoon. I think I already started before my time, but
oh, it's okay.
Thank you for this. I'm sorry Arsh couldn't be here today. My name is Farzad Yassini. I'm the managing attorney here. The Hamapour Law Firm is a catastrophic personal injury and wrongful death litigation law firm. Arsh is the founder and the head trial attorney. For Arash, this award represents more than just a recognition. It's a reflection of a deeply held commitment to building a workplace and community that is inclusive, equitable, and diverse. Arash has always believed that the strength of an organization comes from embracing differences, fostering an environment where every voice is heard, and ensuring that all individuals, no matter what their background, have equal opportunity to thrive. I know Arash would like to thank everyone who has embraced this vision. DE&I is not an individual effort. They are collective achievements. It's through our shared commitment that we create spaces where everyone can contribute fully and authentically. On behalf of Arash, thank you for this incredible honor.
All right. Congratulations to Arash. And the next specialty award is for DEI CEO of the Year. And the honoree is Steve O'Connell with California Credit Union. Congratulations, Steve. And we would like to invite you to unmute and say a few words.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly honored for this award. And I want to say special thanks to Josh and his team at the LA Business Journal for this recognition, and especially your efforts to put a spotlight on the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I also want to say thank and recognize, congratulate the individuals and other organizations recognized today for all the great work that we're all doing to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion across the San Fernando Valley. And importantly, it's important for us to recognize California Credit Union's employee-led DEI committee, along with one of our panelists today, Amada Morales, for all the work this incredible team does to make our credit union a better, more inclusive space for everyone while supporting our DE&I community partners. At California Credit Union, diversity and equity inclusion is not just a value, it's a strategic imperative to effectively serve and represent our employee team, members, customers, and our communities that we serve. We sincerely put people and purpose before profit. We recognize that when we do that, it's embracing different perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences, which fosters innovation, creativity, and importantly, empathy. Our DEI journey is about building a culture where your voice matters, every voice matters, where everyone can just show up and be their authentic self and thrive. We really want to continue to listen and learn and lead with purpose, ensuring that California Credit Union sets a standard for inclusivity in our credit union and in the industry. Together, we can build a future that's fair and more equitable for all. So I invite everyone to participate in embracing this. So thank you very much for the recognition, and congratulations to everyone else.
Congratulations, Steve. And I want to congratulate all of our individual award winners. We're going to move into our corporate and organizational DE&I leaders right now, starting first with the Armenian Women's Bar Association. They promote the professional growth of Armenian women in law, fostering a community dedicated to inspiration, empowerment, and mutual support.
Next, California Credit Union. They promote diversity, equity, and inclusion at every organizational level, supporting women in leadership, financial accessibility, and community investment.
Children and adults with ADHD of Greater Los Angeles. They are dedicated to improving the lives of individuals affected by ADHD, creating safe, supportive spaces, and ensuring that all voices are valued.
Dignity Health. Their team drives efforts to tackle hunger, homelessness, and human trafficking, enhancing health equity through training, outreach, and community support initiatives.
And Dignity Health specific Northridge Hospital Medical Center. The hospital offers a full complement of award-winning services and is the only pediatric trauma center in the San Fernando Valley.
Eide Bailly. They prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion through leadership commitment, training, and outreach, enhancing workplace culture and leading to higher retention.
Elevate My Brand. Elevate My Brand is a woman-owned agency fostering diversity, supporting various charities, and providing pro bono services to organizations like the Women's Founders Network and empowering underrepresented communities.
Equinox Strategy Partners. They offer targeted training and coaching for minority professionals, fostering personal connections, essential networks, and improved retention within professional service firms.
Exceptional Minds. They empower young people with autism to reach their artistic and professional potential, fostering neurodiverse inclusion and supporting diverse hiring practices in the creative industry.
Fabric VC. Fabric VC is a women-led venture capital firm dedicated to funding diverse, underrepresented founders in consumer tech, fostering equity and driving positive change in the industry.
Film LA. Film LA streamlines on-location filmmaking in Los Angeles, ensuring community support and economic growth while managing permits and fostering relationships between filmmakers and local neighborhoods.
Hugh You Know. Hugh works to dismantle barriers for BIPOC, fostering inclusivity and respect by creating safe, supportive spaces that value diverse backgrounds and experiences.
Montage Insurance Solutions. With the staff representing various ages, races, and backgrounds, Montage is reinforcing their belief that together we're stronger.
Raise a Child. Raise a Child supports the LGBTQ+ community, providing essential resources and guidance for individuals facing barriers in adoption and foster care.
San Fernando Valley Community Mental Health Center. The center has been establishing committees since 2020 to foster belonging, conduct training, and address employee feedback through surveys and focus groups, enhancing engagement and satisfaction.
Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. They foster inclusivity for underserved groups through specialized councils, enhancing support for the Black, API, and Latino businesses in Santa Clarita Valley.
And the Valley Economic Alliance. The Alliance promotes DE&I by connecting diverse businesses to resources, enhancing training access, and ensuring equitable community services for a more inclusive environment. Congratulations to all of our 2024 DEI organizational and corporate honorees. To announce our 3 corporate and organization specialty awards, please welcome back Danan Simpson.
Hi there. So the first award is for DEI Nonprofit Organization of the Year. So congratulations goes to the honoree, Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center. So Miriam Melgar, you are going to be our presenter here and tell us a little bit about you. You're the Senior Director of the Mission Integration, Patient Experience, and Spiritual Care services that are here with us. You're here with us today. You were on the panel. I loved hearing from you, and I love that you're a chaplain. That is super awesome. So come join us and tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, Danan. I am so humbled. I'm at a loss for words, really, because this is an amazing recognition. Thank you so much to Los Angeles Business Journal, Valley Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion team for recognizing us. I couldn't do this work without the team. We have an amazing DEIB committee who leads all the efforts to ensure that every day we come to work we live our value of inclusion, which really celebrates each person's gifts and voice and respect the dignity of all. We have a diverse workforce, a diverse community, and every time we care for a patient, we see ourselves in that patient. We truly live our mission and are committed to, advancing social justice for all. And we do that through celebrations by having high holidays that we celebrate here. We also are very, very inclusive in delivering services that are spiritual driven for different faiths and backgrounds and religious beliefs. We have an amazing spiritual care team that does celebrate rituals for our community. And we have such a great partnership with our community leaders that support us. So I'm very, very humble and proud and grateful for the work that happens every day here. And the team, I think we have a lot of members of our diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging team members here who make this work happen, make it fun, make it meaningful, and more importantly, embracing everyone's individuality, their gifts, their culture, their identity, and continue to really lead the way in making a difference. So thank you so much. This is so humbling and very appreciative of the recognition.
Amazing, Miriam. And you weren't on the panel, but you should have been. I know that your representative was the chaplain, and I that already shows us who you are as a company. So congratulations to you. So the next award is for DEI Company of the Year. Congratulations to Fabric VC. Their general partner, Laurel Mintz, is here with us today. So Laurel, please unmute and say a few words.
Oh my gosh, I never win these things. This is so exciting. I'm always on these calls or in the actual audience, and I never get to make these speeches. So this is very exciting. Not that we ever do this for recognition, but it is so amazing to be in a room with so many people that understand the value of this work. I've been doing this work for a long time. My first company, Elevate My Brand, has been around for 16 years. And this is our second and much more mission-driven alignment to make sure that we are putting dollars in the hands of more deserving business owners. I don't know if you all know, but less than 2% of all venture dollars go to folks that look like most of us in this room. And yet, when we do receive those dollars, we return on average at a 25% higher return rate. So it's just a good business model. And so that's one of the things that we really focus on at Fabric VC is making sure that folks like us and others invest not just with our heart, but with our dollars. It's a really great business model. And we know that diversity of thought on boards of directors within any kind of environment really returns better. And our model and our thesis at Fabric is really all about that. I couldn't do this without my team. I feel so very lucky to have an incredible venture and advisory board. And the work that we do at Fabric is really all about weaving together diverse founders with funding. I couldn't do it without each and every one of you. You inspire me each and every day. And I just feel so honored to be here. Thank you so much. You like me. You really like me. Get out there, vote with your dollars. I've always wanted to say that on a screen or on a stage. Thank you so much. Investing in diversity isn't a charity. It's a good business model. Please get out there, write checks to diverse businesses. I promise you will see the returns. Thank you so much. This is such a great honor, not just to be on the stage, but to be in this room with so many of you. It's really so very humbling. Thank you so much.
That was beautiful. And the final award this afternoon is for DEI Team of the Year. And the honoree is Film LA. And I would like to invite President and DEI Executive Sponsor, Paul Adley, to say a few words. Paul?
Thank you, Danon. This is a wonderful honor. We want to thank the Los Angeles Business Journal for this recognition. You know, Film LA is a regional film office. We serve the city and county, but 16 other cities and several school districts as their film office. And not only we are diverse as an organization, we are out in extremely diverse communities serving those people and the film industry as well. And so it became very important to us to make sure that our staff was very much aware of cultural differences, communication differences. And so I have such extraordinary pride in the staff-led effort that has happened at Film LA over the last few years. Not only did they reach out and say, this is what we need in order to be experts in our own community and in our own organization, but they got the resources, they stepped forward, they began to involve the entire Film LA community in it and continue to grow, not only in knowledge, but in breadth of what they're covering in the idea of DEIB. The team continues to come up with new ideas and to show sort of the high quality of what they do. Our board, which is made up of folks from the major studios and unions and even community organizations, are borrowing our staff's material to share with their larger organizations. So I have extraordinary gratitude to the work that they're doing. That team is amazing. I'm hoping they're still on because we always invite them to attend the DEI forums to learn more. And the thing that I think is most amazing about the way this team has acted is they recognized right at the start, this is not about accepting our differences, but this is about embracing our uniqueness. And so changing that language into embracing and becoming a part of and loving each other for who we are has really made a massive difference, not only about how we work together, but how they respond out in the communities they serve. So thank you for the honor on behalf of that incredible team at Film LA.
Paul, thank you so much. Congratulations. This has been just really exciting. I want to thank all of our sponsors for being a part of this, for helping us be able to host this and to be able to publish and dedicate the resources towards this. I want to congratulate all of our honorees who have been named today. I want to remind all of them that they'll be featured in the next issue of Inside the Valley. And I just want to thank everybody for their time and the energy. Thanks for sharing your initiatives, your strategies. Thanks for sharing actionable takeaways that each of us can walk away with and teach to our teams and embrace. So I want to thank all of you. On that note, we do have this 100% recorded. So if there's anybody you'd like to send it to, if you want to share some of the thoughts, if you want to share some of the honorees, specialty award winners, they will be available for review on our website next week. So thank you all so much for being a part of this, for taking the time today. We look forward to hosting you again next year and having the chance to tell your stories through our pages. Thank you all again. We'll see you next time. Bye.